Welcome back to Biz Asia America. Well, sports are universally admired and followed around the world, making them a great device for breaking down cultural barriers. They also have deep ties to the global economy. The worldwide sports industry is projected to be worth more than $145 billion by next year. That's according to PricewaterhouseCoopers. North America accounts for the largest share of that, some 41%. Latin America contributes just 5%. But it's the fastest growing region for sports. One reliable revenue source has been from selling local talent to wealthy leagues overseas. The challenge then becomes finding the money to develop domestic programs and keep that talent at home. Now, that is particularly a problem in Argentina, where the country's football clubs are struggling financially. Joel Richards reports on their dwindling incomes and struggles with financial regulation.
It's match day in Buenos Aires. River Plate is hosting the current league champions San Lorenzo in a Clásico, a local derby. It may be World Cup year, but for millions of supporters, it's their club that comes first. Mariana has travelled around the world to follow Argentina, but says River always comes first. She started supporting the club in the 1990s. That successful team was considered one of the best in the world. But in recent years, including relegation in 2012, River has struggled both on and off the pitch.
If you don't have a very good financial in the club, you don't have a very good result. I think that's the problem.
River Plate has won more league titles than any other club in Argentina, and that creates high expectations. While the youth system produces world-class talent, they often leave at a young age and play abroad.
Argentina won the World Cup in 1978 at this stadium, and that was with a team full of players who played their football in Argentina, the exception being the goal scorer in the final, Mario Kempes. But these days things have changed and there are very few international quality players on show.
Income from transfers helps bankroll clubs in Argentina, leading to an exodus of young players. Graduates from River Plate's youth system include Gonzalo Higuain, who partners Leo Messi in attack for Argentina. But the transfer market that brought in millions of dollars has dried up, and clubs struggle to cope with their debts.
Well, right now is the biggest debt of all Argentinian clubs. It's around 400 million pesos, and it's really huge compared to any other team. The problem is that the balances of the clubs were based on transfers, and in the last years, this transfer disappeared. Emerging markets like Eastern Europe don't buy players anymore.
Ariel Rec is a sports lawyer who says clubs have few other sources of income. Merchandising opportunities are underdeveloped. Even a new TV rights deal with the government has not solved the problem. Foreign clubs are paying less for fewer players, but the local economy is also complicating the situation.
Now, we have to add the internal factor, this restriction for the dollar. So foreign clubs, they know that Argentinian clubs cannot transfer money abroad, so it's hard to enter in a deal.
New sponsorship deals have brought in fresh income for the new board of directors who took over at River Plate. But Argentine clubs are non-profit organisations with a social function. River Plate offers over 40 sports and cultural activities for its members. Director of the club museum, Rodrigo Dascal, says this model must be protected despite the financial difficulties.
A club with a 400 million peso debt as a product of the poor administration does not defend that model. We want to defend it. We have to resolve it with a solution that brings in a new source of income and maintains the sports club model that River defines more than any other.
Argentines are proud of its clubs that fulfill a social role, and for all its debt and difficulties, the passion remains. Joel Richards, CCTV, Buenos Aires.